Hello, David4040 here with another ship's roster review. Today I'm taking a look at PhalanX's ships. So let's take a look at his current arena first, so we can kind of see where you can focus. So we're going to do one change to your starting ships. We're going to do two changes to your reinforcements here. And then I'm just going to tell you some other underlying characters for ships you already have that you just need to focus, for ships you already have in this area that you just need to do a little bit more gearing on. So let's take a look. So let's take a look at your capital ship here. I notice you basically have all the abilities and stuff on home one maxed out, which is great, but you really need to gear 12, if not Gear 12 Plus Admiral Akbar here. What that's going to do for you, it's going to give the capital ship more speed, and that speed can be essential sometimes for having that slight advantage you need in getting abilities like Defiant Volley or getting reinforcements out first that can really give you the advantage in an offensive or defensive battle. Um, there have been several times I've noticed that having the enemy ship go first has hurt me, and having my ship go first has really helped me and given me an advantage in the battle. And you're harming yourself by not giving you these extra 1 or 2 points of speed. And on top of that, you should probably max out the mods on the character once you get it up to gear 12. Get 6-star mods on it is what I mean. 6 dot mods on it is what I mean. You don't necessarily need to have the mods like the best mods for Admiral Akbar in the world, but 6 dot ones minimum, because that will also increase the speed of the ship a little bit. And having that speed up, that extra speed on the ship, is just going to help you and give you an advantage. So gear 12 your Akbar. So next thing for your starting ships is a replacement for the Houndstooth. You're thinking, what, Houndstooth? Best ships in the game. Problem is, this one ship is going to be a lot better for you, even though it's not a tank. And that's going to be Biston G-Wing. What does Biston G-Wing do? Well, Biston G-Wing is an attacker that can come in, do lots of damage, help you lay down some more target locks. A lot of people in the past have compared it as the TIE Advanced of the Rebels, and have even used it in place of TIE Advance. It's that good of a ship. It stealths itself as well with scouting mission here that just makes it harder to hit, and it gives itself more speed with assault plan. It's a great ship, but you gotta gear up the underlying characters. You got a 7-star Scarif Rebel Pathfinder. Scarif Rebel Pathfinder is a useful character to have as a tank. I've found him to be useful for me personally. He might not be a top tier character, but he's a good character to have in your toolkit, I would say. So it's not harmful. Biston decent having your toolkit as well. But Biston itself as a ship is fantastic. It's been one that people have used as part of their toolkit before this Millennium Falcon meta. But top tier fleets have it as a starting ship. I'm personally making the transition where I'm starting to use it as my starting ship just because it makes my fleet that much better. I'm finally fishing the Gear 12, getting back around to my Biston to Gear 12. I've had my Scarif Gear 12 for a while. I just don't want a Gear 12 Biston, but you want to Gear 12 these two guys just because any starting ships, it's always best to have Gear 12. And that gives them more health and more speed and more offense. And this guy is going to help you melt down opposing Houndstooths and just mean Houndstooth isn't a barrier to entry anymore for defeating fleets. So what's the next thing you need to work on? Well, we're going to look at your reinforcements now. So for reinforcements you currently have, you're going to keep Phantom 2 as your first reinforcement and Ghost as your third reinforcement option. But if you're keeping Phantom, you need Gear 11 Chopper. It's just going to give the ship more damage, more health, and more everything. It's also going to allow you to max out Chopper's ability, which is just useful to have all abilities on the ship maxed out. And if you have the Ghost, this is going to give it, I believe, it's going to, it synergizes with the Ghost a little bit as well, which means your Ghost will deal more damage and such as the Phantom 2 is out, which doesn't hurt you at all. But having the underlying character Gear 11 is just going to help make the ship more effective for you in general, with overall stats, which is why you want it up there. And honestly, my rule of thumb is any capital ships need to be Gear 12 minimum for their fleet commander if you're using them. If not, Gear 12 plus if you are willing to try to get them up in that direction. Any starting characters for starting fleet characters should be Gear 12. Then any reinforcement characters need to be Gear 11 minimum. Your Ghost already pretty much maxed out, so we're not going to worry about that at all. But your second reinforcement we are going to worry about, because this is absolutely necessary for a good offensive rebel fleet, and that is Cassian's U-Wing. Why is it necessary? It's necessary for its reinforcement, which you fortunately have maxed out, but you also need to gear up Cassian to Gear 11, which you want to do anyhow with my rule of thumb, for Guerrilla Strike, because this will call to assist a rebel, which will call to assist Millennium Falcon. If you have him Gear 11, you can max this out, which will guarantee critical hits when calling a rebel to assist, which you should be doing, which will hopefully let you take out opposing Millennium Falcon, because Cassian's U-Wing is going to dispel all buffs on the other side, which should dispel outmaneuver, meaning you can immediately attack Han's Millennium Falcon and hopefully kill it with a guerrilla strike from Cassian's U-Wing before it gets a chance to take another turn. You also just want to gear up K2SO to Gear 11 so you can max out his ability, but also just allow the underlying stats of the ship, such as speed, health, damage, and such, to be better. So that's Cassian's U-Wing. Then as a fourth reinforcement, you could use Houndstooth once you get Biston's U-Wing up as that fourth reinforcement. But my recommended one that I personally should look at working on sometime soon is Lando's Millennium Falcon. L3 is a good tank anyhow in other areas of the game, but Lando's Millennium Falcon with its reinforcement ability all in here can come in and just do a bunch of attacks and kill off one or two essential ships. It's great defensively and can really surprise your enemy. I've run into fleets that have had it, and it really annoys me. It's probably one of the scariest reinforcements to see out. It's the best fourth reinforcement in the game. You just want, if you're going to use it though, again, you got gear level 85 those characters, gear them to gear 11, so the underlying stats on the ship are are decent enough to be using. That's really it there. Anything else you could prepare is just going to prepare you for future metas. And for that type of thing, you just want to be looking at starring or gearing any Galactic Republic ships or Separatist ships. Also, IG-8 2000, because that being a droid could have some use in a Separatist meta with droid synergies, even though it's not a Separatist itself. So those would be the two things to look at. Is there anything Galactic Republic or Separatist? Considering the Geos are Separatist ships, they are really good anyhow, and the underlying characters are now fantastic. They are good options to look at if you're wanting a good second fleet developed anyway. But for your main fleet, what your focuses should be uh, primarily getting Cassian Jewing and Biston Jewing up to usable levels. And then uh, especially Cassian Ewing. The sooner you get Cassian Ewing up and ready to go to a space you feel comfortable using, that ship is, as a second reinforcement, is going to help you even with your current fleet. Then Bisson Ewing should be that second focus for you. Getting Bisson Ewing up is going to super improve your fleet. It's a great starting ship. And then as a fourth reinforcement, I mean, something you don't necessarily need, but would improve the fleet, would be Lando's Millennium Falcon. If not, as that fourth reinforcement, you can use not Hans Millennium Falcon. You can use Houndstooth as the fourth reinforcement. So what's your fleet going to look like? Your fleet's going to look like Home 1 with starters of Hans Millennium Falcon, Biston Ewing, and Biggs X-Wing, if you follow my advice. Then reinforcements in this order of Phantom 2, Cassian Ewing, Ghost, and Lando's Millennium Falcon. So I hope that helped you. Phalanx, reach out to me in the future if you need any more help with ships. But this is David 4040 signing out. Talk to you later. Bye.